can be only one podcast, and may it be the Prince of the Universe. Hi, folks. I'm Matt.
And I'm Wes.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Well, at this point, World Series going on. Basically, end of the season. Don't have a winner yet, or if we do, we haven't checked it. So it may be completed by now, actually.
We're doing a lot of eclectic, different subjects on your podcast.
We are, but that's what Prince of the Universe.
Out.
We are. We always have been. It's been wrestling. We go on wrestling tears. We go on movie tears. We go on TV. We go on random things. We do everything, and every blue moon.
You're a well-rounded man.
Thank you. I'm trying to lose weight, but thank you. But anyway, we're trying to do every once in a while. We'll do sports, not very much, but this is one I wanted to do because we've been talking a lot about it. Basically, end of the year overview. Focused on our two teams. I'm a Mets fan. You're a Yankees fan. If anyone did not know that. There was a text message that you sent me.
Yes.
Midway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
It was when the Mets were already having a slump. So were the Yankees.
Yes.
Both teams were on the downslope. And you said, do you think the Mets and Yankees at this point are even going to make the playoffs? Because I don't think the Yankees are.
Correct.
And I told you, I have a good feeling that the Yankees will make it because the Yankees they always shore up and get their way into. I didn't know if they'd win the division, but I did say they could definitely win a wild card.
Yes.
Because you never count the Yankees out in the postseason. But I also said, I also feel as bad as the Mets are, we are going to end up with a wild card. Dead wrong on my Mets, who can't win the last game of the season. That's all they had to do was win. That's all. You put it in their hand. Who was it? The Reds had lost earlier, about in the 6th inning, we found out, 7th inning. All we had to do was start coughing up runs. That should have motivated us to say, hey, guys, we got to knuckle down and get this because now our destiny is in our own hands. Reds win, the game doesn't matter.
Correct.
But the Reds cough up a loss. Now we have a chance. We should have been going full hog anyway on this, and I felt like the bats were silent the whole time. And of course, once again, I was truly believing that the Mets were going to get in. I was like, we're going to do this because we always do some epic. It always give me a heart attack and just limp to the finish line. We limp to the finish line. Now, at this point, the Yankees did way better than I thought. They didn't just grab onto the last ring of the wild card division like the Mets were trying.
They played really bad teams and beat all those really bad teams at the end of the year,
But we're fighting for the division.
We're fighting for the division, but regardless, they played a lot of bad teams, and they won the games that they should have won. And their season ended losing to a better team again because last year when they lost the World Series, they played inferior teams they should have beat in the playoff, those AL Central teams. So I will stand by what I said. If they had not played such really bad teams at the end, I don't think they would have been much better than the Red Sox. And the Red Sox had star players hurt, and that's the only reason they beat them.
Yeah. Well, I do think you guys came close to winning that whole division. It's very close between you and Toronto at the end. They ended up not getting it.
But look at the Yankees' record. If you look at them, you can look at 94 wins and go, wow, it's a great year. Or you can look at how they played against teams, the top 4 teams in the American League, and that's a better idea of who they are.
You can look at that, but in the playoff sense, for me, like someone said, would you even want the Mets in the playoffs the way they've been playing? And I said yes, because every team can get on a hot streak. Okay?
And or they can get exposed.
Yes, they can get exposed and torn down.
They can run out the building.
Which I don't think it was a surprise to anyone when the Reds have always been mediocre all year long. They've never been great. They've never been terrible. They were middle of the road. And thankfully, middle of the road, Mets were flying high, top of the league. You can fly
under the radar.
And then fell down. And the Mets just had this huge just crash and burn where the Reds just played it safe. They just let if it was a race, they ran the speed limit, let the Mets try to speed. The Mets crashed their car, and they said, okay, there's no need to rush. We're just going to cross the finish line here. So it's no surprise to me they got blown out at the very beginning. Let me talk about my Mets since my season ended earlier.
Okay.
I will tell you this. Someone asked me, is it a disappointment because you weren't expected to win? No, it is a disappointment because we made the wild card last year without Juan Soto. He said, "Oh well, no, I think we had a better team this year than last year on paper. We had a much better team this year."
Yeah.
And it was showing at the beginning of the season, and then when everything started falling apart, Juan Soto, not a bad year at all. Not his best. Not his best.
Still a great year.
I read something online. He was leading in steals, and that's because the Mets have come up with a new way, a new method, mathematical method on when and how to steal bases that now everyone will be adapting to because they realize the Mets base stealing percentage is top of the league. Juan Soto stole the most bases he ever has, but they only did it on certain pitchers with certain windups. They knew exactly how much of lead he needed and his speed and velocity to get to second
stolen
base.
bases aren't what they were.
They are not. It's not Ricky Henderson.
In
Just
80s
stealing.
baseball.
And Ricky couldn't be stopped. Ricky could tell. I think I told this story about the Will Clark story. When he told Will Clark, "I'm stealing second," and so Will signaled to the pitcher going, "He's going," and they still couldn't catch him. He even said, "I'm going now."
Well, those Ricky Henderson stories are pretty great.
Yeah. They're by the way, that's what I really want. Find me the podcast where the old players are telling great stories like that. And they're being jovial, they're fun, the fight's out, the grudges, for the most part, the grudges are behind them.
Yeah.
I think even Nolan Ryan, the big Nolan Ryan Robin Ventura fight that was real big. They used to play that in Texas Ranger Stadium before every game. And when Robin Ventura at the time became the White Sox manager, Nolan Ryan called the stadium and said, "Hey, I don't want you playing that clip when Robin's in." Now, of course, he and Robin had some beef, but that's in the past now. We're not playing the game. And as Nolan said, it was an intimidation factor for him. That's why he was mean and ugly, and he scared people. I heard a King Griffey Jr. story when he was playing with his dad, and he hit the ball off his first appearance against Nolan Ryan. He hit a single, stole second. And he said Nolan just kind of looked at him like he was going to kick. And when he went back to the dugout, he said, "Daddy, he's going to hit me." He went, "He ain't going to hit you, son." He said, "Yes, he is. He is pissed." He went, "Son," he said, "that's Nolan playing games with you right now because now you're going to be so scared you ain't going to hit." Yep. He said, "Daddy, I know he's going to hit me." And it was a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. But he said, I was scared this 40-year-old man was going to beam me because he said he looked at me like I had just killed his children when I stole second. Like, how did I give you permission? And that was funny that King Griffey Sr. is a great story. He says, "No, I know him. He's there for intimidation." They old school players know the game. Either way, I'm off topic. So I thought that the Mets were going to make it. They did not. It is disappointing when you hire. Now, yes, we overpaid for Juan Soto. Is he better than Shohei Ohtani? Not in a million years. But he is Juan Soto. He is a great ball player. And I felt that even though it was you put him on, if you give him another name, he had a really good season. But you're Juan Soto. It's like Aaron Judge have a mediocre season. Oh, but he did really good if you look at these other stats. That ain't no Aaron Judge.
Well, I think he did what you expected him to do.
I felt a little let down in clutch situations where I watched strike three go across the plate.
I'm not saying he was – I don't think he was ever going to justify the contract because they had to overpay to get him.
I understand that, but I think that contract says, hey, I'm going to be clutch in the situations where you need me. Pete Alonso – way more. We won I stopped counting after 30, but because of his hit, his home run, his whatever, one time he just stole a run with a great defensive play or a great stretch, called a bad catch and kept his foot on the first base, which ended the game instead of letting that run score. So looking at that, there was 30-something games. We do not lose. We're nowhere near without Pete.
I don't think it has anything to do with Juan Soto. I think that they didn't. They gambled on pitching and they bet on the wrong horses.
Pitching definitely has something to do with it as well. But when you're not scoring runs, it doesn't matter how good your bullpen is. If you can't score a run, which is what we had plenty of opportunity. But okay, so that's my thoughts on the Mets. So the Yankees, they get to go in. Are you disappointed? You're disappointed with their season already.
Yes.
According to you. Okay, so you're disappointed. Okay, so for you, is this all Yankees fans? It's we have to win the division. We have to be dominant. If we don't win a World Series, then it's a crap year.
I don't think you need to. I think you need to not be the worst of the best teams. And I don't think that they show up in big spots because of the way the team is structured. It's been structured kind of like that for years. I think it was a better structured. I think they had a better year than I expected, considering what they did last year. But in an overall picture, but I still don't think they're an elite team. They just beat up on really bad teams. The analytics that they look at and to justify things are different things than the wins and losses against elite teams. You know?
So their first wild card is against the Sox.
Correct.
The rivals.
Yes.
This has Major League Baseball salivating because they have this classic. When you talk about biggest rivalry in sports, any sports,
It's in top 5
any
for
sport.
baseball,
No, they
for sure.
ranked it number 1.
Okay.
I remember in the ranking I saw Yankees, Red Sox, and then Auburn, Alabama football, college football was second.
Okay.
But nothing beats a Yankees Red Sox rivalry.
But that
And
really
now,
hasn't been that relevant in over a decade.
it hasn't been that relevant because both teams have been kind of seesawing on who's great before. However, it has a history
Yeah, you can
and
sell
a
it.
legacy.
It's a good TV.
And it's good TV. And everyone knows the teams. Everyone generally the casual baseball fan knows the rivalry.
They want
okay?
one of the other to lose. Somebody has a passion.
You're cheering for one or the other. It's only 3 games. It's tight. It's a tight race. Red Sox pull off a shocker in the very first one. So you're
Not a shocker to me.
not a shocker to you.
Not at all.
Keep go
Their
ahead.
their starter was better than the Yankees starter.
That's really true. He was dynamite. What that dude was throwing was just brutal. It was some brutal stuff. I don't know if they could have hit
Garrett
him.
Crochet all year was that way with him. He's a big time pitcher. That's a guy who's a number 1 on any staff because of not just his athletic ability, but he's got that mind. He's a dog. He's not scared. It's like he gave up a game time home run to Aaron Judge in like the 9th inning of a game earlier this year, which people go, what a big deal. It's like, that just shows how tough he's like, yeah, beat me. Go for it. It's the 9th inning. I don't care. I'm going to go after you. I mean, that's who you want to lead your staff, where everybody's going to go, we're going to win this game.
Right.
Because he's not scared.
And he's carving through that lineup.
Yeah.
He's doing a really good job. So you're right on that. But, I mean, it was a close one.
Yeah.
Red Sox pull it off. But then you have the Yankees go ahead and win the next 2.
Right.
And move on. But I need to know your thoughts for that game 3. Did you think that we're not? This is it, or did you think
I thought they were going to win.
Okay.
Because I did think they were going to win because they had the Red Sox did not have their best players. They had a couple of their star guys were out. So not just going off record that, yeah, they won 87 games versus 94, but some of their key ball players were not at that game. So if you take, I can tell you this, I don't think the Yankees would have won if you took Bellinger out of the game or Aaron Judge out of the game. You know, you take one of your top 2 hitters out of the game, it's going to change the ebb and flow of it.
Yeah, right. No, I agree. So
They're too dependent on one player. They're just too dependent on this left right matchup. The analytics of that. I don't think that they have players that complement each other well.
Okay. All right. So
it's like it's like Robin's podcast. Like, how sweet can y'all be? I mean, it's too sweet, man. It's like so much candy. It's like Halloween where you
got sick
on November 2nd or 3rd.
It's Halloween and you ate all your candy too much and now you have a stomach ache.
Yeah. They just too much of the same thing. You're like,
too many sweets.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. I'm glad to have you back too.
Somebody can. Why can we not advance runners just based off analytics? If you've got so much swing or miss, get the guy in scoring position at least to kind of make the pitcher feel a little more nervous.
No, I agree.
I mean, you got so many guys throwing 100. Change up your approach. Make the defense pay a little more attention.
Right.
And I get it that they're pro ball players and they don't want to change their approach, but they're not winning. They've got going through their longest winless streak ever.
Yeah. But that is the beauty of the postseason, though. Every pitch counts, every at bat counts. I mean, everything is really dialed up.
I agree, but still, they lost to in the game they lost. They lost a bullpen game where they just threw 8 or 9 guys at them and just mowed them over.
Yeah,
and it's like, man, that's kind of pathetic.
yeah. Well, I mean, it is, but they got the win at the end. They won the series.
They won. Yeah, they beat a beat up Red Sox team, and they lost to a Toronto team.
Well, I'm going to talk about the Toronto series.
To beat them.
We'll talk about the Toronto series.
Okay.
Hold on.
All
right. So they go to play Toronto.
Yes.
Now, honest thoughts going in.
I thought Toronto was going to mow them over.
Toronto has been pretty bullish with them over the season.
That's my point. Like I didn't think they were going to beat the Red Sox to a certain degree because I felt like they would win Game 3. Yes, I did, but because the team was healthier, the Yankees were healthier than the Red Sox. But it would not have surprised me if the Yankees lost to them because that other team wants to beat them, and the Blue Jays wanted to beat them. Guerrero wants to beat on them. I don't know what heat there is with his dad and the Yankees from 25 years ago, but there's a reason why that guy, kind of like Griffey was that way because his dad played for the Yankees. He felt like he kind of got abused by George.
True.
So, you don't need to give really good players a reason to be better.
I think it's just a stigma of the Yankees and who they are. Obviously, he has some kind of quote-unquote beef with them because I saw a clip of a Q&A where they said, who's the easiest team to beat? And he said, yeah. And he's trolling. He's trolling at that point.
But he's good enough. He's
fantastic.
He wants them when he gets into the batter's box to say, give me your best.
You hurt.
Give me your best because I want to beat you.
I'm going to make you hurt. I'm going to make you hurt. That's exactly what he said. So we move on, and we are how many games did this go? 4?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Aaron Judge does exceptionally well. He has a reputation for floundering in the playoffs.
Yes.
I think he busted that curse, but he didn't get the support of his team.
He didn't, but at the same point, he did have some major miscues.
He had a few miscues, but without him, it would have been more embarrassing. Because he did his best.
Yeah,
and I mean,
you can't. He's not going to be perfect.
I think he did everything that was asked of him and expected of him.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so yeah, especially in a postseason. Excuse me, let me preface that because in the postseason, hasn't been the best.
Correct. Yeah, he's had a
last year
past.
Was embarrassing how the Yankees got to the World Series without his help.
He and Stanton basically flip-flopped the postseason because last year Stanton
Stanton was the reason that they were moving forward, and Judge struggled the entire time.
He is limping to the finish line of his career.
That's true,
unfortunately.
But he showed up to play last year and moved them up into a World Series.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Judge, and I know Judge hears about every he's going to the postseason. Now I got to answer this question to a million reporters. Oh, about your slump and whatnot. So in his area, I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But I think he showed up and performed. However, we've talked about this. The Yankee shortcomings came up. They didn't go on.
They have automatic outs.
Now, let me give you a what if scenario.
Okay.
Right now, we know that if they would have moved forward, they would have played the Mariners. Can the Yankees handle the Mariners?
No.
No. Why?
I don't think they have the makeup to beat good teams. Look at the past few years. Look at the past 10 years. They do not perform in big games. When the Red Sox came back and beat them after being down 3-0 20 plus years ago, they have not been the same. It is in their head. It is in those pinstripes. I know they won a World Series in 2009 on the shoulders of A-Rod and signing Sabathia and Texera and all that stuff. but they are just not the juggernaut. They're the juggernaut against your relief pitching that comes in on the 6th inning and 5th inning.
Gotcha.
You know,
I have a feeling if the Mets somehow would have miraculously won that game, there's a chance we could have beat the Dodgers. I'm going to be that bold. Just because we beat them in the past, we own the series.
They handled
season
y'all last
series.
year pretty well.
Last year they did, but this season, we handled them a little bit more than they handled us.
Yeah.
3 games, you can win 2 out of 3. That's not impossible. So there was a chance we could have won it. I'm not saying we would have, but there's a chance. And I think we would have gotten beaten like a drum against, whoever else we played next, the Brewers. That wasn't going to go anywhere. But either way, though, or no, did the Reds play the Brewers? Oh, anyway, no, I don't think they did. They played the Dodgers. But the thing is, though, we couldn't have gone any farther. I don't think the Mets would have gone any farther. So, in closing here, because we still got some time to talk about, I want to talk about retooling for next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want to talk about the Mets real quick. Pete Alonso is going to go out there and say, "Hey, I had a great season. Who wants to take me?" And supposedly he's looking for a 7-year contract. I doubt he's signed at this point. By the way, by the time this podcast comes out,
well, they won't
that
sign
stuff
until
won't
after
happen
the World
until winter
Series.
meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to find it. I'm going to say he's going to find a good maybe 5-year, 3 to 5 year contract with the Mets because of his age. And I don't think anyone is going to pay it. And I think Cohen says, you know what? You did well this year. And you worked with us. We want to work with you. But he's not going to get that sweetheart deal that he wants. I don't think anyone's going to pay that because of his position. Toronto would love to drop some more money somewhere, but they already got the best first baseman in the league.
Well, yeah, you're just going to put him at – somebody's got to go DH then. And why tie that much payroll?
And to a DH position when there's other people who can hit just as well who can't play other positions.
Because players have just shown since the steroid era, it is hard to play 150-plus games a year.
Yeah.
You're going to go down.
I don't think he goes anywhere else. Does Pete Alonso go anywhere else? I still don't see him going anywhere.
I think he'll go to the highest bidder.
Okay. Well, I mean, but I don't think
I
he's
just
getting a
don't
7-year
know.
sweetheart deal.
I don't think
at his
I don't
age.
think anybody's going to give him more than 3 years. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I think the best he'll get is 3 years.
I think Cohen may give an extra year or two just because we'll let you retire.
I think
as a
the
Met.
best he'll get is a 3-year deal from someone else, and the best deal he'll get from the Mets is a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
How about
probably so. Probably so. But anyway, other than that, of course, we got to look for pitching. I don't know who we get. I don't know. The Pirates, there's no way they give up Skynes. But, when we'd have to give up probably too many
Paul
prospects.
Skeens, he's not
Skeens,
going
I'm sorry,
anywhere.
Skeens. But, yeah, it's too bad because they're wasting him on the Pirates. But they know they got him for cheap for right now. And, I don't know, you'd have to give up some pretty prospects, I'd imagine. But either way, we got to find some pitching out there.
I would think Paul Skeens will go next year at the All-Star break. I think he'll break camp with the Pirates, and I think he'll kind of throw his sword down and say, if we are not improved, I will not be here, and I will. Yeah. I think he'll strong arm them and be a distraction because that's the problem with baseball and certain sports that like bad teams are really bad. They just don't govern how terrible they are. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of that has to do with money and all those other outside influences.
Yeah. So besides that, getting pitchers, I don't know who we could get, but I think Cohen's a good owner. He's going to do what he can to piece together another Mets team and try again next year. How do your Yankees fare in the postseason?
Next year?
I mean, I'm saying the off season. Yeah. What do they need? What's your grocery list?
I think that they need to get another shortstop, and I believe that their catcher, first baseman situation is kind of convoluted. District or DH, and with Judge going to need elbow surgery, it's going to be challenging to put him in right field and expect him to hold up. He powered through the last bit of the year, which is what you want your big stars to do, which you said you wanted Soto to do. I think that is what Judge did. You know, he's one of the top 5 paid baseball players, and he played hurt. And he's shown the ability, once he got healthier, he will play with nicks and pains and power through. I think Bellinger's gone. I think they will give Grisham a qualifying offer for a 1-year deal, because what hurts? If he does bad, who cares? You know, it's not like you're on the hook for him next year. But if he plays again and hits 30 more home runs, you're like, let him go try it again somewhere else. But we got another good year out of him. Plus, that was with the Soto trade, so hold on to that. Like, if you can hold on to that guy for another year after that Soto trade, it makes the trade better. You know, you're getting something out of that deal where the Soto is gone, but you still have another big piece of that trade. I think their relief situation is challenging, and they're all shopping at the same store for relief pitching. They just don't happen to have the best. I don't know how much the selection they're going to get.
That's the thing. I don't know who all the free agents are. I don't know where the trades are coming from.
Well, everybody's looking for the same thing.
Everyone needs the same thing.
If everybody wants a Cabbage Patch doll in 1984, and the store's got 24, and there's 104 people in there,
not everyone's going to get what they want.
Not everybody's going to get what they want.
But it's more going to be feast rather than famine when you're talking about 2 New York teams.
But the Yankees spend. They have a budget. They're willing to spend high, but they definitely are not going to just blow it out.
They're not the Dodgers, yeah.
They're not going to do it. They're not.
It's true.
They manage a little bit closer, and they have got big deals out on players. You know, what Cole will look like next year when he comes back from Tommy John surgery in his mid-30s. You know, how much more can you get out of Stanton? He cannot play a full season. He can't really play the field. He didn't do anything in the playoffs.
Right.
And they're on the hook for him for at least 2 more years before they just eat the last year and say, go home.
Which will probably happen.
I think the Yankees will win less games next year than they did this year. That's my prediction. They won 94 games. I don't think they will win 94 next year.
Wow, so they don't even go, okay.
I think Toronto will be just as good, and Boston will be better.
Yeah, for me, I think the Mets will be about the same. I don't think they're going to win any divisions.
If the Braves get better next year, look out.
Yeah, it's trouble. Yeah, the Marlins really got good stuff. I mean, almost everyone in the East there is besides the Nationals right now, but the other teams are just all contenders. And same thing for the East for baseball.
Well, you got the top.
The Orioles were supposed to be the ones that were supposed to come together.
Well, they've already kind of gave up again.
Yeah. So
and Tampa Bay is always, they're either going to win
always a little wild card,
77 games, or they're going to win 97 games.
They're going to stay even keel and hope that other teams crash.
Yeah.
So you can't be too bad. But anyway, look at us. Some practical ESPN commentary stuff going on here. Yeah. So there you go. One baseball one for the year. Not doing another one until next year.
I do miss Peter Gammons. I used to love some Peter Gammons on.
Do you remember the baseball cards that had the Peter Gammons, like his analysis of the player on the back of the card?
Yeah.
I remember maybe it was Upper Deck or something. I always loved that instead of the stats, they just had Peter Gammons.
And Peter Gammons was the man.
But he analyzed every player in that collection, and I was like, this is great.
He was kind of creepy looking too, but man, he was smart.
Yeah. Probably couldn't be allowed 30 feet from a schoolyard, but you know what? He was a baseball analyst. Yes, we do. We all have our problems.
Oh boy. The hits keep coming.
All right, folks. We'll see you next time on Princes of the Universe.